The world is in chaos. Wars, climate change, declining population, just to name a few. Then there's AI, artificial intelligence, designed to be a force for good, we're told, brought into existence to find answers to the world's unsolvable problems. AI is not the answer. It's a mirror of our worst behaviours. When we join in the gold rush to buy into AI and use it in every way possible, we are compounding the very problems we're trying to solve. AI poses the greatest threat to the planet in human history. Its potential to unravel our society and destroy already stressed planetary ecosystems makes it equivalent to a weapon of mass destruction. It's the culmination of a technology invasion that's unjust, undemocratic, unethical, unhealthy, and unnecessary. We've been sold a story that technology is the solution to everything that's wrong. But the truth is that humans don't need machines to live happy, fulfilling lives. What we do need is healing from the lingering effects of the COVID pandemic that left us more isolated than before. We need real communities, human contact and shared purpose and belief that as individuals we can change the future. I'm Jane Newman, and this is my Oxford Talk. The issue isn't just the digital AI-led future that we're being pulled into. It's our unquestioning acceptance of the rapid changes happening because we don't know what else we can or should do about it. Instead of investing in our recovery after the COVID pandemic, the tech companies offered us more digital experiences. We were given more automation, more apps, and companies held on to the expectation that people should be more efficient. Before the pandemic, my days were filled with real human moments. I enjoyed banter in the office, spontaneous hallway chats, and walking out in the sun to have coffee with friends. Work meant thinking together, solving problems face to face with whiteboards and marker pens. But during lockdown, like most of you, I worked entirely online. As Manager of Information and Analytics for a national Australian company, I felt responsible for making sure our clients and employees continued to communicate remotely. Back-to-back meetings blurred together and working hours extended. The tech we were told would help us was error-prone, rushed and poorly designed. But we accepted it because we had to. We've allowed that situation to persist long after the end of the pandemic. It's not the way IT is meant to be. It used to be expected that tech would be well architected and designed to meet a well-defined purpose. It would be rigorously tested. Changes would be minimal. Data was only collected when it was essential and deleted when it wasn't. And people who worked in the companies whose services customers pay for were trained in the use of their computer systems, reporting any errors. It's not progress to create tools that make everyday life more demanding, more difficult, and mentally exhausting. It's not innovation to remove human creativity and empathy and real customer service in the name of speed and convenience. The pandemic increased the combined market cap of the 5 largest US-based tech companies by more than $2.5 trillion, but it left me burnt out. Eventually, I left the career I'd spent a lifetime building, but even now, I can't escape the drain on my health and well-being. Every day, I'm exhausted after battling with online challenges and issues of technology not working and people not available to answer my questions. And it's not just me. It's everyone I talk to. As a worldwide society, we haven't fully recovered from the experience of living through COVID and our reliance on technology. And for those people who grew up during that period, this way of living is all they know. This is their experience of being human. According to the World Health Organization, the prevalence of anxiety and depression increased globally by 25% in the first year of the pandemic. Figures as high as 40% were reported by the US CDC, and 63% of young people were affected. The emotional toll hasn't healed. Mental health issues are widespread, and loneliness has been called a public health epidemic. Being isolated and using technology for long periods is not just detrimental to mental health. Recently, statistics reported by MIT and other similar surveys show the decline of cognitive capacity after using AI for prolonged periods. It's evidence of what we all know instinctively, that our brains need to be exercised, stimulated and challenged, not with technology, but with other humans. When I was speaking at an event in New York recently, I noticed that the shops played similar music to that in Australia, with many shops and radio stations still playing music from the 80s and 90s, and very little from more recent decades. I noticed that the streaming channels are full of reruns and repeats of shows. We're all still watching Friends the world over. Have you or your children ever said, "I wish I was born back then"? Mine have. They want to know why growing up in the 1970s and 80s seemed like it was fun and exciting in a way that their lives are not. I feel privileged to have grown up in that era of freedom without technology controlling my life. People now are expected to behave like machines. We medicate and regulate and accept being labelled and classified into categories. We put up with chatbots that serve no purpose and automated phone systems that delay and frustrate us. We accommodate the use of digital checkboxes to express our wants and needs, our thoughts and emotions. We accept that the purpose of humanity is to be productive, and that as workers, we must strive to be efficient. This is not what we were born to be. This is not the way to live as humans. If we want a different future to the one that big tech is building, different behaviour is required. It's time to let go of the isolation mentality of COVID and remember that being human means being part of the real world. Imagine the future in 10 years' time, an AI-led future. Imagine where people are no longer required in online businesses, offices or shops to perform as musicians or actors, writers or artists. And our communications and services are driven by forms and chatbots, where AI evaluates our choices and makes decisions for us, communicates on our behalf and operates our lives, when the purpose of our existence is to be consumers of products. Imagine the world where all efforts to curb climate change have been overturned by handing over our electricity, water and farmlands to keep up with AI's expanding infrastructure needs. Imagine the impact when the heavy metals needed for the chips that perform trillions of calculations daily turn remote communities into poisoned wastelands. Imagine the spread of data centres growing across the planet to hold all of the content that every human is generating. This is not the future in 10 years' time. This is happening right now. This is the technological world we've become addicted to, the AI revolution we're signing up for. Every time we run an app using AI or run an internet search, data centres power up, even if it's just asking the weather, the third most common Google query of 2024. They burn electricity, guzzle water, and pump out carbon emissions. In the US alone, data centres now account for over 2% of emissions, more than the aviation industry. AI infrastructure may soon consume 6 times more water than Denmark, despite 1 in 4 people lacking access to clean water. A single ChatGPT request uses 10 times more energy than a Google search, and by 2026, the rise of AI could see data centres account for nearly 35% of Ireland's energy use. The Sotho people of southern Africa have a myth about the all-consuming beast Kammapa. In this story, the extinction event that wipes out all life on the planet does not come from war, famine or disease. It came from a great monster, the ever-hungry Kammapa, who consumes everything. When I hear about the increasing number of data centres being built, it feels as though AI is just like Kammapa. In 2012, there were 500,000 data centres around the world. Now, according to a UN report, there are 8 million. That number isn't static. It's projected to grow 34% annually, with power demands and emissions potentially doubling by 2030. According to a Guardian study, data centre emissions could be even higher than claimed, as big tech often underreports. There's no end date, no stopping point. It's exponential. We vocalise our worry about the environment. We encourage governments to follow their net zero commitments, and then check our online devices every 10 minutes. With every swipe and every message, we're pouring water and power and farmlands into digital convenience. With every AI app we access and every query we run, we're negating the environmental and climate change targets that we've put so much effort towards. It's hypocritical to ignore the facts. Being addicted to convenience and the ease of having technology at our fingertips to do all our work for us does not compensate for the uncomfortable truth. There's a widespread belief that AI will come up with answers to humanity's greatest challenges, as if this somehow justifies the impact. It's like saying that it's okay for your child to smoke 20 packs a day because one day they're going to invent a cure for lung disease. There's no evidence that AI can or will produce such significant world-breaking outcomes. Reports that provide hard facts about the benefits that AI has delivered so far in monetary value are not readily available. If a cost-benefits analysis has been conducted that justifies the trillions of dollars spent, it's not been publicly published. Furthermore, the AI we're using every day has been built on somebody's decisions about how it works ethically, what moral values and human goals to follow. Such information should be transparent and readily available, but it's not. Ongoing monitoring and auditing is necessary with appropriate watchdogs and task forces to ensure full visibility of who has made these decisions on our behalf and what decisions they are. But these aren't stood up yet. People in the AI industry need to be educated in moral ethics and developers employed who are competent to build it into code, but such safeguards are not yet in place. We should all be very worried. By the time authorities are established and standards invented and measures collected, the damage to humanity and the planet may be irreversible. The generations of children who believe that dependency on technology is essential may never recover from the trauma of living wedded to technology, without questioning the political, philosophical, and ethical views they've been trained in. The AI revolution is not delivering a just or equitable future, and it certainly isn't addressing a sustainable one. The valid uses for AI that are described as breakthroughs in medicine and science seem like data science investigations into discrete problems. In 2023, there were 408 AI cases and projects run by the UN system, which encompassed 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Their outputs? Software, apps, and reports. The massive global data centres holding the personal data, social media interactions, and online content that large language models like ChatGPT operate on are essential to search engines, government surveillance of citizens, replacement of people's jobs, and more recently, personal productivity tools for individuals. AI can only work on the content it's been given, and the continuing influence of a large language model's own misinformation being fed back into it decreases its reliability with every iteration. The valid use of AI in specific circumstances doesn't mean it belongs everywhere. How we choose to use it, that's up to us. That's why I'm asking you to choose differently. To choose to engage with technology intentionally, not impulsively. To choose to rebuild human connection in real communities, face-to-face, and re-establish human think tanks using real lived knowledge and experience as the basis for new ideas that are outside the box. Just imagine all the funds being poured into technology being donated to real human projects, addressing real human problems that demonstrate real human value. This is our democracy. This is our planet. These are our lives. If we don't want unelected tech leaders to keep shaping the future for us, we need to act differently. Let's stop calling it inevitable and acting like we're powerless. Let's stop saying AI is the future when we are. When we stand up against the technology invasion and choose people over AI, we reclaim our right to choose the future, a future that's human.